carrying gasoline smashed through their home. It happened last night in North York. Amazingly, no one in the home was hurt. CBC's Natalie Collada has more.
Still shaken, Alma's Pandrani returns to her home on O'Connor Drive to collect her belongings. Just before 11:30 last night, the mother was jolted awake when a tractor-trailer hauling gasoline smashed into the family's home.
We were in shock. We couldn't be able to believe that it's going to be like this. And then everybody was crying. We were screaming.
The home sustained significant damage, but no one inside was hurt. Firefighters extracted the driver from the vehicle. He suffered only minor cuts. Danielle LeBlanc lives nearby. She called 911.
The truck, the trailer, ran over two cars, in through a house, half of a house, and stopped right before the old age home down the street. My fiance went to see if the truck driver was okay, and he seemed to be okay.
While a small amount of diesel fuel leaked from the tractor, no gasoline escaped from the tank it was hauling. Police are now investigating the circumstances that led up to the crash. Natalie Collada, CBC News, Toronto.
The time right now is 4:35. This is Here and Now on CBC Radio 1. Cleo, what's happening on the roads?
Well, Jasmine, we have a couple of issues with the westbound 401. A number of collisions. A few of them are on ramps. So right now, west 401 ramp to southbound Markham Road, that is closed because of a collision. Also, some lanes are affected on Markham Road at the 401 ramp. So watch out for the slow drive in and around the 401 and Markham Road. We also are dealing with a collision on the ramp to Dixie. A center lane is taken out, and then again through the 410 in the express. Just past that, you're going to find just a single right lane in the express lanes closed for a number of hours. There was actually two right lanes, but now it's just single right lane according to MTO. And then for our major highways, that's about it in terms of problems. So westbound 401 is where you'll find them all. North on the Don Valley Parkway, that's still going to be a bit slow as you go from Don Mills up to Lawrence. And looking at the eastbound 401, that's also going to be busy as you go through the Markham Road stretch as well, with that issue on the ramp to Markham Road. And now let's have a look at our current weather forecasted for the next couple of days. So right now it is mostly cloudy, 2 degrees. It feels like -2 with a bit of wind. Tonight it's going to get even more cloudier as we go through the overnight and into the morning. That low overnight, 0. And then for tomorrow, we're waking up to an overcast sky. It's going to be windy and wet also for the rest of your Wednesday after you wake up in the morning. A rain-snow mix as we're expecting in the morning, but chance of it changing over to flurries going into the afternoon. And then wind gusts, they're going to be pretty strong, 70 kilometers per hour. High of 4 degrees early on, temperature falling through the day. We have a high of 1 in the afternoon, so that's going to really drop off. And then at night, even colder, -7 is the low for your Wednesday night into Thursday. And then again, a cloudy sky on Thursday, chance of flurries continuing, high of just -5. And then a bit more sunshine heading into Friday and Saturday, partly cloudy sky each day, and highs around -4 or 5 once again on Friday and Saturday, Jasmine.
Thanks very much, Khalil, with the latest in weather and in transit. Watching for those winds tomorrow. Make sure things don't blow away off the porch. So at least the weather will be warm for the first part of the day. Thanks, Khalil. In sports, the Calgary Flames visit the Florida Panthers coming off consecutive victories over Seattle and Chicago. Elsewhere, the Winnipeg Jets are in Arizona to face the Coyotes in NHL action. And in the NBA, the Toronto Raptors will chase a third straight win when they host the San Antonio Spurs. Toronto is coming off a victory Sunday over the New York Knicks. And Antonio Brown was still in the New York area a day after walking out on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers while they battled the New York Jets. Brown watched the Memphis Grizzlies road win last night over the Brooklyn Nets. After the Buccaneers game Sunday, head coach Bruce Arians said Brown was no longer with the team. And that is news and sports to 4:38 on Here and Now.
So we were talking yesterday, Jasmine, you weren't with us yesterday, but we were talking a little bit about sort of lamely talking about New Year's Eve and what people got up to, and not nobody got up to much, it seems. But here's an interesting about the twins that were born in California, fraternal twins, on a few minutes apart, I think 15 minutes apart, on 2 different days. They literally landed one on either side of the midnight churning over of the new year. So one of the twins was born in 2021 and the other born in 2022.
Wow.
I mean, they're going to have different birthdays. They're going to be different grades at school. I mean, there perhaps going to be some negotiating from the parents, but they're literally 15 minutes apart and a whole year apart at the same time.
Well, I was just thinking of that because being born in January and having a brother who was born in December, it's like we were 2 years almost apart instead of the one, like, because
Right.
he got to start school, almost a year earlier than I did, and I was kind of one of the first out of the gate, I guess, when you're born in January. So yeah, that is going to be fun for the parents to try to figure out.
Apparently it is, I'm trying to remember what I read here and I'm trying to find it, but it happens so unbelievably rarely that, obviously twins born or babies born, right close to midnight and things, and that happens, but to have twins literally born, oh, there it is. The chances of twins being born in different years is 1 in 2 million. So the doctor who was part of this delivery just said, I can't believe this happened. It was just so rare and so extraordinary to be part of it. One of the most memorable deliveries of my career. So
I think they should be in the same grade. Maybe not the same class, but yeah.
well, that, can you imagine? I mean, the sibling rivalry that you've created because you got that 15-minute head start and it changed everything.
You could change each other up and go to one grade 1 year and
that's
one
true.
class and say,
And wreak havoc.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because I didn't.
Although they're
like
fraternal,
school.
not identical. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't like school, so I would be that brother that would be like, hey, why don't you go to school for me
You go to school
today,
without me.
and I'll go in for you tomorrow, kind of thing. That we can kind of play off it. No one would even know.
that's funny. Anyway, there's one memorable New Year's Eve event for sure. Certainly puts the rest of our New Year's Eves to shame. Andrew Chang, hello to you. What's happening in the National tonight?
Yeah, well, speaking of the New Year's celebrations that were or weren't, alcohol. One of the stories on our program tonight is about alcohol in the sense that we think we understand it pretty well by now, right? What it can do to one's mind, what it can do to one's waistline, or our livers, our other organs, or, even on the flip side, that in moderation, maybe it can be good for you. But we don't tend to think of alcohol as a carcinogen. But it is one. A level 1 carcinogen, right up there with tobacco and asbestos. In 2020, alcohol was linked to 7,000 new cancer cases in Canada. So, why do so many of us drink without thinking about alcohol as such, as a cancer risk? Why is drinking celebrated in popular culture? Why do we often think of alcohol as a positive way, in moderation of decompressing after a long day? I deserve a drink. The answer boils down to money, to bad science, to bad information, and on that last point, there's even talk in some parts of the world, in Europe, for example, to put cancer warning labels on alcohol, the way we do on cigarettes. So this is maybe not the kind of story people want to hear in a pandemic. It is certainly one worth hearing tonight on the program.
Indeed, that's some pretty important information to share. Unpopular, though, I'm sure it will be. Thank you, Andrew, for doing the hard work.
Cheers.
That's the National's Andrew Chang. With that story and lots more coming your way on the National tonight on your CBC television starting at 10 o'clock. Right now it's 17 away from 5 here on your CBC Radio 1. I'm Jill Deacon, and you're listening to Here and Now. And yesterday I told you that the final tally was in for Sounds of the Season, and I guess misspoke. It was the almost final tally. Sounds of the Season, of course, is CBC Toronto's annual food bank fundraiser. That's been happening every year for well over a decade. And I am so happy to say that our final tally is in, and we did it. you did it, raised over $1 million. So thank you for all of your generous donations for this year. We talked a lot about this throughout the month of December, how great the need is right now. The need for longer term solutions is continues to be great, but the Band-Aid measure of food banks is certainly in need of support. So it's wonderful to be able to say that we and you raised over $1 million with Sounds of the Season. There were a lot of artists who donated their time and their talents on our shows to help make that happen, including Toronto's Sean Jones, who performed with us on our Here and Now special. Here he is with his latest single called Love Will.